Living in a society driven by images, influence, and illusions, the narcissist thrives. These individuals do not simply seek love. They seek control disguised as affection. If you have ever found yourself emotionally drained, doubting your sanity, or repeatedly explaining yourself to someone who never listens, you may have encountered a narcissist. They do not enter our lives with visible horns or clear red flags. Instead, they arrive with charm, flattery, and a perfectly crafted mirror that reflects only what we wish to see. What makes narcissists dangerous is not always the loud manipulation, but the silent erosion of your sense of self. You will argue the same points over and over, yet nothing changes. You may forgive endlessly, hoping for change, only to be met with blame, gaslighting, and a complete lack of accountability. This is not just emotional conflict. It is psychological warfare. Understanding narcissism is not about revenge. It is about clarity. It is about no longer living confused, hurt, or desperate for closure. The narcissist's power lies in deception, in making you question your instincts, your feelings, your worth. And breaking that spell begins the moment you choose to see them for who they truly are. The purpose of this monologue is not to insult or diagnose, but to liberate, to give voice to the unspoken pain and patterns that too many endure in silence. If you recognize yourself in these words, know this: it is not your fault. You are not weak. You are targeted because of your strength, not being fragile. In this piece, I will break down the tactics, the cycles, and most importantly, the way out. I'm not offering theory. I'm offering truth. A truth so sharp that it cuts through the fog and brings you back to yourself. Because healing from narcissistic abuse is not just recovery, it is revolution. Narcissists are obsessed with appearances: the fancy car, the expensive clothing, the luxury lifestyle. It is not about enjoyment. It's about attention. These things serve one purpose: to manipulate how others perceive them. If the image looks flawless, people chase them. If people chase them, they stay in control. It is not about authenticity. It is about optics. They may not be rich, but they will curate an image of success. They might say they work in finance or tech, not because it matters, but because it sounds impressive. It makes others treat them quite differently. They mimic status, charm, and even empathy. But it is all a strategy. The narcissist is not interested in growth, only in perception. Behind the scenes, however, their behavior tells a different story. Their relationships are a cycle of idolization, devaluation, and discard. They love bomb at first: gifts, compliments, attention. But the moment they sense emotional independence, the game changes. You'll begin to feel devalued, criticized, and blamed. If you challenge them, they become the victim. If you grow stronger, They accuse you of being cold. This cycle is not accidental. It is designed. It keeps you off balance and emotionally dependent. You end up consoling them for hurting you, apologizing for expressing pain, but doubting your own reality. And that is exactly what they want. Narcissists do not fear confrontation. They fear indifference. They do not break down when you cry. They break down when you stop reacting, when you stop explaining, when you walk away without begging. Your strength threatens them because it removes their power. Think about it. They will say, "You have changed." But what they mean is you are no longer easy to control. They will accuse you of arrogance, detachment, cruelty. But what they see is your peace. Your calmness is rejection. Your boundaries are rebellion. Your healing is the end of their control. That is when they attempt one final dirty trick. Identity attack. They twist your growth into guilt. They act healed. They post quotes. They talk about therapy. They may even say, "You were right about me." But it is not remorse. It is strategy. They are trying to reset the game. They may also turn to others, mutual friends, family, even your children. They begin a quiet campaign to make you look like the unstable one. They used to be so sweet. I just wish they hadn't changed. This triangulation isolates you. It paints your strength as dysfunction. But truth always casts a long shadow. Over time, those who watch will see consistency. They will see your peace. And without ever defending yourself, your life becomes the proof. Being in a relationship with a narcissist is like trying to solve the same puzzle every day, only to find the pieces keep changing. You bring up the same issue, they twist it, deny it, blame you. You try to explain. They accuse you of nagging, being emotional, or living in the past. Sometimes they pretend to apologize, but nothing changes. Their behavior remains the same. So you bring it up again, and again, and again, until you start to wonder if you are the problem. But you're not. The issue is never your persistence. It was their refusal to take accountability. And that is why you feel stuck. That is why you never heal. Because you're stuck in a loop where they keep shifting the blame while you keep hoping for resolution. Eventually, you learn the only way to break the cycle is to stop playing the game, to stop explaining, to stop hoping, to stop needing them to understand. And in that moment, something powerful happens. You stop living for their approval and you start living for yourself. When a narcissist sees that they can no longer control you, they wait. They wait for weakness, a moment of grief, loneliness, confusion. Then they return, not out of love, but out of calculation. They will say, "I was thinking about you." But what they mean is, "Can I still get in?" They do not seek closure. They seek resumption. The cycle, once broken, is something they will always try to restart. But now you see through it. You see their apology is not for healing. It's bait. You see their compliments are not sincere. They are hooks. Staying strong does not mean staying angry. It means being clear. It means not defending yourself to people who twist your words. It means not playing the role they assigned you. And if they paint you as cold, too much, or heartless, well, so be it. Because what they're really saying is, I can no longer break you. And that is a truth they cannot admit, but will always try to undo. Breaking free from a narcissist is not just about ending a relationship. It's about reclaiming your mind, your spirit, your identity. For too long, you've been told that your pain is drama, your feelings are overreactions, your boundaries are cruelty. But none of that was true. You were manipulated. You were gaslighted. You were devalued. And still, you survived. That, my friend, is strength. That is power. And it deserves to be protected. You do not owe anyone a final conversation. You do not owe them a reply, a reunion, or an explanation. The narcissist will say, you are heartless, but that is because they cannot feed off your clarity. Let them talk. Let them twist. You do not need to defend peace. Your healing is not arrogance. It's protection. Your silence is not cruelty. It is wisdom. Your boundaries are not walls. They are doors, and you decide who enters, just not them. If you have been through this, you know the strength it takes to walk away. But more than that, you know the strength it takes to stay away. That is where your real healing begins. That is where their illusion finally dies. So the next time a narcissist questions your growth, understand this. They are not confused. They are exposed. And exposure to a narcissist is the end of control. It is the end of the game. And for you, it is beginning of freedom. Stay strong, stay clear, and stay free. Much love. Lancescurv out. Peace.